again, I was a little shocked. Some of you were asking me certain types of questions, um, and I just know you need to double check your work. All right, that's what I know. All right. So those guys who are not here, please listen to the video. I think it's important to understand how we're coming up with these values. All right. So with that being said, we should be able to zip down and do the odds. All right. So number one was just what? 6. Now, if you want to put 6 to the first, I'm totally fine with that. Shh. All right. Concentrate. All right. We have another test next Thursday. And then we have exam review, exam review, exam review. All right, so we got one more opportunity here. All right. X to the 4th over x squared is obviously. Now, here's where it's a good question. M over m cubed is. Now, we don't ever write negative exponents for now. So if you wrote m to the negative 2, that would be okay, but I prefer that you not see it like that. I prefer that you say there's 1m on top and 3 on the bottom. Therefore, you're left with 1 over m squared. Thank you very much. Okay? 1 over m squared. All right? Now, also think in terms of a fraction. 12 over 36 reduces to what? 1/3. That's how you should write it. And then it would be n to the 4th. That's how simple this is, guys. All right? Now, well, there's 5 n's on top and 1 n on the bottom. All right? So now, number 9, you should easily be able to tell me that's? Exactly. Number 11, again, think of it as a fraction. 21 divided by 7 is? -3. Now, I used to write -3 over 1 just to make sure. All right? Then, how many w's? Now, where does the x go? On the bottom as a x to the what? X to the 3rd. All right? Number 13 should be pretty easy for you. That's what? Not 14, but what? 49. So see, some kids make mistakes because they just multiply the numbers. You're not multiplying the numbers. 4 squared is 16, 7 squared is 49. All right, then you say power to a power, you multiply. All right, and of course, 8 to the negative 2 is 1 over 8 squared. Yes, I'm happy with that. All right, either one of those is acceptable. All right, either one. All right, you should know both of them, though.
How come you just don't do 8 times
8 times 8 is 64, but there's a negative exponent. To fix a negative exponent, remember you have to move it.
like to the bottom?
That's correct. All right, so it moved it to 1 over 8 squared. Now, both of these numbers are to the negative 1, right? So all you have to do is what? Flip it. The reciprocal. That is correct. 11 over 9. That's the answer. Now, if you want to put parentheses around it and make it to the first, that's okay, but anything to the first is itself. All right? Now, anything to the 0 power is 1, so that crosses out to a 1. K to the negative 6 is what? That's correct. Or you could say, since you're multiplying, you do what to exponents? When you multiply, what do you do to exponents? You add them. So another way to look at that is just to say that's k to the negative 2, which is the same as 1 over k squared. If you look at it like this, you still have 4 k's on top and 6 on the bottom, so you're left with 2 on the bottom. So there's lots of ways to look at things. All right, you just have to stay consistent with what you're doing. All right, I think it makes it easier. All right, now 21, this goes on the bottom as f to the 7th. So that's 1 over f to the 11th. Are I good with that? All I did was I put f to the negative 7 on the bottom. So if I put f to the negative 7 on the bottom, it becomes f to the 4th times f to the 7th. Good me now. Add the exponent. All right, so here I'm just moving those. So I have h squared g to the fourth over f to the fifth. That's the answer. Now, again, look carefully. T to the 0 I can cross out as a 1. Right? So I have a fraction now, -3. This goes down here as u to the first, which means there's how many u's in the bottom? 4. Now, honestly, guys, I mean, that didn't take me, that's 5 minutes, man. 5 minutes. All right? And you make mistakes. That's what you do. And now you let me fix your mistakes. All right?
So you know how you keep saying when something's to the 0 power, it like crosses out?
Well, it's a 1.
Well, it's a 1, but like, when you cross it out, like, how does that cross like the T out? Like on number 25.
Okay.
Where it was 52, like,
So because, listen to me. Here's why. You ready? T to the 0 equals 1. 1 times -15 is still -15.
oh.
-15 divided by 5 is -3.
Okay.
Good question. Come on. Anybody else not sure about something? There's no reason to sit and not know what we're doing. None. And like I said, some of you guys who made an A on your last test finally, because you were kicked in the pants a little bit, you can continue that, or you can just continue doing what you were doing before you were making A's. And now you're behind because you didn't do your work. All right? I shouldn't have to stand up here and say, you know, watch you write in some of the answers. You should be changing your answers if they're wrong, but confirming them. All right? That's what you should be doing.
Number 19,
It's 1 over k squared, right? All right, I'll go slow. Here you go. Ready? Let's do it again. Okay, this k to the 0 becomes a what? 1. So that's kind of 1 times anything is whatever, right? Now, for me, the first technique is when you multiply, what do you do to exponents? So that's k to the -2. There you go. That's it. Somebody else. Somebody else. Yes. I'll do 26 for you. All right, because it's really hard. All right. 48 divided by 6 is still what? -8. Very good. All right, now how many x's are on top? How many on the bottom? That means, shh, I'm asking her. Why are you asking me? How many x's are on the top?
6.
And how many on the bottom? How many can you cross out? Okay, you can cross 1 out and you're left with 5. Thank you.
Yeah.
How many y's on the top?
7.
How many on the bottom?
5.
So we cross out how many?
5.
So I'm left with,
2.
that's how simple. No. We're getting it down for everybody else, not just you. How many z's on the top?
5.
How many on the bottom?
6.
So I cross
6.
5,
Cross out 5.
and I'm left with, nope, I'm left with what? 1 where at? On the bottom. Now, you are correct saying z to the -1. But I don't want you thinking like that. I don't want you to go 5 minus 6. I want you to go what? 6 minus 5. There are how many on the bottom? Now, if you ever have trouble, you just say z, 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 z. Uh-oh. And then down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cross out, cross out, cross out, cross out, cross out. That shows you that the z is left on the bottom. That's how you should be thinking about it. And then eventually your brain just says, what are we doing? We're just subtracting. All right? And that's why I'm telling you, how many x's are on the top? 6. And how many x's on the bottom? 1. So if you cross as many as you can out, you can cross 1 out, which means you're left with 5. That's simple, guys. No excuses. Go.
On the second page,
Right here? Okay, yeah, let's do this one because this is really as hard as it gets. All right, thank you for that. All right, everybody take a look at number 12. Let's work this together. Okay, first and foremost now, please look. This is like more of an Algebra 2, not an Algebra 1. All right, it's kind of hard. So please pay attention. Again, if you know the rules, it's all what? Easy. Right? So I'm going to highlight something. This right here is all raised to the what? So I have to move that where? All of it to the bottom. All right? So now what I try to tell kids is make a fraction bar. Now, 4 is on the bottom. What about m to the negative 6? Move that to the top. So I put m to the 6th. Then what? N to the 4th stays on the bottom. Then I have negative 2 mn squared cubed. Does everybody see that? Come on now, please listen. Follow along. Because it's negative here, kiddo. The rule is just move it. It doesn't say change the sign. I'm changing the sign of the exponent. Everything else stays. Just listen. Everything else stays the same. I'm just literally moving it from the top to the bottom, and the exponent changes from negative to positive. That's the rule. If something is a negative exponent, you move it. All right, and change the exponent from a negative to a positive. Now, does anybody have any questions with that? That's how it should be done. Now we're going to simplify. All right, so now I have m to the 6th over 4n to the 4th, 4m squared, I'm sorry, n cubed. Uh-oh, I thought it was squared, it's cubed. So that would be negative 8 m cubed n to the 6th. Sorry, I thought it was squared. It's cubed. Does everybody see why it's negative 8? Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. And then power to power, the rule is multiply. Right, Connor? You good?
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to simplify again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just slide this over so we can see it better. All right. So now equals. Now 4 times negative 8. What is that? Sometimes. Today it's negative 32. All right, so negative 32. Does everybody get that? Right? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 on the top just because I want you to understand why the 32 is at the bottom. The 32 is at the bottom because 4 times 8 is at the bottom. Does everybody agree? Okay, so now I have how many m's on the bottom? How many on the top? So that leaves me 3 where? 3 on the top. And now I have n to the 4th, n to the 6th, which leaves me n to the 10th. Because they're both in the denominator. There's a total of 10 n's in the denominator. Now, honestly, I hope you're going, man, that's not that hard. But if you practice 12, do it 2 or 3 times until you're going, wow, I got it. All the rest of them are easy. The reason that's a good problem is because it's got all the rules. It's got negative exponents, you got to divide, and you got to multiply. And you got to deal with the numbers. All right, so honestly, if you're good with 12, you know everything there is to know about exponents, almost. All right? Does anybody have any questions with that? Now, again, I'm telling you, the next test is not going to be hard. It's all just rules. All right? Very basic. Very basic. All right? So don't get behind. All right? Do not get behind. All right? Now, if you want, today I'm going to do the evens with my other class. All right? So if you're interested in, those solutions, go look it up. All right? But now we still have a lot to do, so we're going to knock out 8.1. All right, so everybody put that in real quick, and let's talk. Today, honestly, is probably the easiest day ever. All right? Easiest day ever. Because honestly, I'm doing this with my pre-algebra kids. All right, all we're doing is adding and subtracting. All right, she can help you. All right, here we go. So now we kind of already talked about monomial. Monomial is a single term. Binomial is 2 terms. Trinomial is 3 terms. Then after that, we don't really go into more. All right, that's usually all they go up to. And then they say anything past 3 is a polynomial. All right, so you have monomial, binomial, trinomial, and polynomial. All right, and I already told you what separates terms: addition and subtraction. So that is considered a binomial. This right here is considered a monomial. This is considered nothing because it has a negative exponent. You're not allowed to have a negative exponent. All right? Now, this down here, of course, would simplify. All right? And it would simplify to a trinomial. All right? But that's what we're going to be working on. All right? So monomial, binomial, trinomial. All right? Now, let's talk about the degree, even though it's not that important. Please listen. All right? The degree is always the largest exponent of the individual monomials. So listen to me real quick. Eyes up. It's really simple, but it's an easy one to miss on the test. This exponent right here is a 1. Does everybody agree? This is a 1, and a 1. Does everybody agree? Yes. This degree of that monomial is 1. The degree of this monomial is 3. Thank you. So the degree of the binomial is 3. All right? So again, that's confusing. All right? That's confusing. Listen to me. No. You just take the greatest, you take the greatest exponent. You take the greatest exponent. All right? The degree here we say is just 0. All right? The reason we say it's 0 is because there's no variable. All right? Now we don't have to look here. All right? So the degree of this guy right here is what? 3. The degree of the x is 1. The degree of this x. The degree of the 4, 0. The degree of the x, 1. So the degree of this is 3, guys. Again, there's nothing I can do on that for you. Nothing I can do. That's just reading the rules. That's all it is. All right, quick, come on.
Yeah, I understand. I still understand why 4 is 0.
Because there's no variable.
Oh, okay.
It has to be a
So
variable.
it has to be a variable?
That's right.
Okay.
All right, it has to be a variable. Okay, so now let's look down here. Determine whether each expression is a polynomial. If it is, find the degree and determine whether it's a monomial, binomial, or trinomial. All right, so this is a monomial, and its degree is 0. I'm totally fine with that. All right, so let's look at 2. This is no.
Oh.
The variable's in the denominator.
Oh, wait.
So it's
No variables in the denominator. Variables in the denominators are the same as negative exponents. No, there's nothing. It's not a polynomial.
But if it was a good
Numerator, it's fine. Let's just keep practicing, all right? That's what all these examples are for. All right, so this, you should know, simplifies to 8x plus 5, right? So that's a what? Binomial with a degree of 1. Binomial with a degree of 1. Number 4, this degree is what? 3. This degree is, and this degree is 0. So this is a trinomial with a degree of what? 3. There's 3 terms. That's why. 1, 2, 3 terms. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction. All right? So number 5 is obviously not a polynomial. Number 6 is a binomial with a degree of 2. and that's it. All right? Very simple. I'm telling you, it's super easy. Super
Move
easy.
on to number 3.
I'm on 3. What?
Alright, so
7x. Oh, wow. That's 7x minus 1x. Thank you so much. You're right. Good. 6x. Thank you, Drew. You get the prize
I
for the
mean,
day.
it's still like the same.
It is the same answer. Nothing different.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, here we go. Now, standard form. Listen to me about standard form. Standard form is just writing the polynomial from the largest exponent to the smallest exponent. All right? So this is very helpful with you understanding positives and negatives. So number 7 is just x to the 5th plus x cubed minus x squared. The leading coefficient is just the number in front of the first term. So I'm not really going to care about that. I'm not going to ask you what's the leading coefficient. But the leading coefficient is just the number in front of the leading term, the first term. What?
you just like write it in the order.
Descending order.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. You write it in descending order. All right, so number 8, you should be able to see that just should be negative 7x to the 5th plus x to the 4th plus 4x cubed plus 1. Everybody see that? All right, the leading coefficient would be negative 7. What?
Why would it -7 plus
Because you're doing it in terms of the exponent. 5, 4, 3, 0. You're always looking at the exponent, not the number. The exponent. All right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at number 9. Number 9 should be what? Go.
2x8 minus 3x6 minus x5.
Beautiful. That's exactly correct. Told you, very simple. Very, very simple. All right? So let's take a look now at number 10. Negative x to the 8th plus 2x to the 7th. Yeah, put a 1 in front if you need to. All right, does everybody agree with me? I don't care about the last two. You understand that. All right. Now, here is, honestly, all right, this is the easiest thing we're doing. All right? All we're doing is we're just combining like terms. Now, the only thing that makes it a little bit more difficult is because last year we just had like x and y, and now we might have xy or x squared y's. So you just have to remember, everything that's added and subtracted have to be exactly the same. A pencil plus a pencil is 2 pencils. A pencil and a pen don't equal 2 pencil pens. Everybody hear what I'm trying to say? If you're adding a pencil and a pen together, you end up with a pencil and a pen. All right? So here we go. Number 1, 4a and 3a is what? Come on. 7a plus 1. Beautiful. Everybody happy with that? All right. So just to save time, I'm going to go down the page. Number 3. Now, can you add a y with xy?
No.
No. So you would say 6xy plus 4xy is 10xy plus 5x plus 2y. I don't care if you put the y in front of the x. The order can be a little, all right? But generally what we do is we do alphabetical order descending, all right? So the x's come before the y's. I don't care. Stop and listen to what I'm saying. Don't ask me a bunch of questions. Descending order with respect to x, all right? But I'm not going to mark you wrong if you put 2y before the 5x. I'm just not doing that. All right? The object is to combine like terms. So just combine the like terms. All right? So here, 3p squared plus 1p squared. Wait a minute. 4p squared. Negative 2p minus 7p. Negative 9p. And then 3 plus 7. Beautiful. Plus 10. All right? Now, the hard one is number 7. The hard one is number 7. The only reason it's harder because you are what? Instead of adding, you're subtracting. So essentially you must distribute the negative. Now here's the way I teach kids. All right, I try to tell them, look, don't be lazy. Just plus circle, minus circle, plus circle. Why do I do that? To show that I've what? Distributed the negative. When you distribute a negative, that means you're doing what to the signs? Changing the signs. That's what you're doing. You're changing the signs. All right? What you asked me about this or the ones in front here?
Yeah,
Right, okay, so look, oftentimes kids ask me that. This, if I put a negative in front, I would change the signs. There isn't a negative in front. You see what I'm saying? So you're not changing those. You hear me?
Oh,
That's right. Okay, so now, again, here is where you should start to put things in the right order, though. All right? The largest exponent usually goes first. So in this case, it would be 6p squared. Now I'm combining what? 8p and negative, that's not a p. It should have been. All right, so, sorry. So it's 6p squared plus 8p. And then, yes, now that's what I was trying to say. Thank you. The negative 5r and the negative 6r is what? Negative 11r, right? And then plus 3. Okay, so you can see how you can get confused if you're not careful. All right? Come on. Combining terms. Good.
So for the 6p squared, you wouldn't combine it with just a p?
No, it has to be the same. P squared is different than p. Just like x is different than y is different than xy. Okay? They have to be exactly the same. So again, please just get in the habit of doing plus, minus, minus, plus. Okay? So now I have, how many x squareds, guys? 2x squared, right? How many x's? How many x's? Oh, hold on. I covered it up. You're right. I'm sorry. I can't see my own 3. All right, so sorry, guys. That, you're right, is a negative. Sorry. You're correct. Thank you. Do you see what I said? I just covered up the 3. I didn't see it. Does everybody see that? So it's 3x squared minus 3x squared. So those cancel. Thank you. All right. So now what? Negative 7x and then plus 1. Guys, I'm telling you, it's just so simple. All right?
I still don't understand why you made the negative
Because this is like a negative 1. So it's negative 1 times positive 3, which is negative 3. Negative 1 times positive 5 is negative 5. Do you understand that? No, don't say that. Because that means you don't. All right, see that negative 1 right there or not? So negative 1 times 3 is what? Negative 1 times positive 5. Negative 1 times negative 1.
I understand that. I just don't understand why you changed the negative to, like the negative sign that you're distributing, why you made it plus.
So you want to keep it negative?
No.
Because look, because there is no, you don't put double signs anywhere. You with me? So technically there should be a plus sign here.
Okay.
You with me? Plus a negative. We don't say that. All right? Okay, so number 11. Make sure I can make another mistake here. Plus, 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 all the way through. Oh, finally, go.
I've been okay, fine. Negative 1j plus
What?
negative 1j. I was right.
What about the
Okay.
H's?
I don't know what order to put it in. I put
A,
it
B,
from
C,
J,
D,
K,
E,
H.
F, G,
I put it-
H, I, J, K. There we go.
I put it in the other order.
Okay,
I put
all right.
J, K, H.
J, K, H. That's a nice alphabet. Go.
Plus 2k
Wait a minute. So negative J. What else?
plus 2k
Plus 2K
plus 9.
plus 9H. You are Brilliant.
I know.
There you go.
You have to do that.
Alphabetical order. All right.
Place this.
I know. Here we go. So let's talk about number 2 real quick. Who said that? Go. Tell me.
It's 4x squared plus 6x plus 2. Put it in the right order.
Look at that. How about that? She did. Not like you.
I still got the answer right.
I know. All right. Number 4. Cece, try to get one right today.
Okay, so the x squared and the negative x squared popped out.
Okay. So now what?
Okay, there's 1 in front of y squared, right?
Well, I don't see it, but yes, it's there.
So you add them. So it's 2y.
But you look like
2y what?
To the 4.
Tell her, Maggie.
Maggie. Ha!
Tell her.
Now you put y.
No, 1 times 1.
You said
minus 1.
Maggie,
2y plus
Maggie.
1y. Positive 1y plus
No,
1y.
it's not.
I got that.
Yes, it is squared. Why wouldn't it be squared?
Because listen. Hey, shh. No. No. Hey.
Not the right order.
Stop and listen. Stop talking. All right? There's 1y squared. Listen, think. Plus 1y squared gives me a total of what? 2y squareds. If I said what's y squared times y squared, you would say y to the 4th. But we're adding. When you add, things don't change. You have 1y squared and 1y squared, 2y squared. All right? Let's try number 6 now. All right? Here, for number 6. Lauren, go.
Oh, alright. So for number 6.
Shh.
So first you would change your symbols, so it would be negative last it's like negative 4x squared.
Good. Come on. Negative 4x squared. Then I underline 5xy
5xy, and then you do 4x.
plus 4xy
Then that would be
plus 6y squared. Come on, that's easy. Easy. Wait, what?
Why did you change the sign?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're asking me. What is 2x squared minus 6x squared? What is that?
No,
Shh. What's 2 minus 6? That means you got it? What?
Since there's a plus sign before like the parentheses, you just do nothing.
Yeah. Honestly, I used to tell my kids, look, really, that's just setting you up for subtraction. So honestly, I would tell my kids, listen, really the parentheses are not necessary for addition. Everybody hear me? It's just not. Okay, but they're saying it's that quantity plus that quantity. You with me? And so it's just not necessary. But it is necessary for subtraction because you distribute the negative. All right? So keep that in mind. All right? Please keep that in mind. All right? Now, so number 8, plus, minus. Everybody see that? And so now, how many x squareds do I have? 9x squared. How many x's? Negative 2x. And the constant would be negative what? Negative 8, I believe. Right? Because the 5 is negative. I know, I'm telling you, just keep it up. All right? Now again, for the next one, negative is a positive, negative, positive. So everybody see that? Don't be lazy. Change the signs. Now I used to circle them just so I could see it better. All right? Now how many x squareds do I have? 5x squared. How many xy's?
4.
And how many y squareds? All right, is everybody good? Okay, again, on number 12, minus, against your plus. All right? So now how many xy squareds? 17xy squared. How many xy's? 7. All right. Now let me try to tell you something here. There's just really, look at the next worksheet, please. Do you understand? Listen to me, please. A monomial, binomial, and trinomial, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's not a monomial or polynomial if the variable is negative. You with me on that? Listen, I don't want to waste time. Put your hand down. I really don't want to waste time. This I don't care about. Just know it. All right, just know it. All right, it's not going to be a big part of the test. Can you just listen for a second? All right. Now, writing in standard form is really simple also. Highest exponent to lowest exponent. All right. Down here, the sum and difference is important. This right here is not important. All right. And I don't even really care about 19 and 20. I really don't care. All right. Now listen, guys. I'm trying to help some of you out. And some of you came back, you're all excited about, next year going to Jesuit or wherever you're going, Tampa Prep, wherever. Listen, I'm telling you, they're making decisions. Right? I'm filling out recommendations. All right? And I'm always honest on the recommendation. All right? So I want everybody to go to private school. All right? I like Jesuit. I like Academy. I like Tampa Prep. I like Berkeley Prep. I like the IB program. All right? I don't have anything wrong with going to Plant, but I just, I like people that care about you. All right? So you go somewhere, all right, and you have to work hard. And I've told some of you guys, I don't like to check homework. Why do you think I don't like to check homework? Because it's a waste of my time. I would much rather be up here explaining things to you. But I feel like, some of you guys are cutting corners, and that's why you're in the position you're in. You got to work when no one's watching. Right? That's the problem with some of you. All right? So again, I'm not babysitting. All right? You have a grade that's on the line. Some of you are not happy. You're at the B range. You're trying to make an A. All right? Put in the work. Put in the time. All right? Ask questions. Come in the morning. Some of you asked me the questions this morning. Wow, that's nice. All right? Let me help you in the morning. All right? But don't take shortcuts. Do the work. Tomorrow I'm going to come in and do the same thing. I'm going to say, okay, let's go over a few problems, something that you don't know. Now, those of you guys who had trouble with the night before, you're not 100% on dividing and powers, and there were 4 or 5 hard problems. Go do the 4 or 5 hard problems again and see if you understand it. It's better to work a little bit every night on things you don't know rather than wait on next Wednesday night before you get yourself all frustrated. All right, there's too much on the line. All right, too much on the line. I had too many parent conferences this whole last month trying to get you worked out. I'm not babysitting anymore. I'm not calling your parents anymore. All right, you're just going to get your grade that you get. All right, do not waste time. Do not be lazy this last week of school. All right, so you understand what I'm saying? We literally have just next week. That's it. Then we have exam reviews. Then we have exams. All right, we get out on the 15th, which is way too early. All right? But again, all right, that's not my decision. I wish we were having exams on next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, actually. All right, that's what I thought it was as well. So I looked at the calendar and kind of got a little nervous. No, there's nothing changed. Nothing has changed. It's always been there. I just never would think that we would get out 10 days before Christmas. All right, and then we come back like on the 2nd or the 3rd. All right. So again, there's nothing I can do with that, but I'm just saying, listen, get to work. Get to work. All right. And again, I told you exactly what I wanted you to look at. All right. I don't care about the monomial, binomial, trinomial stuff, but everything else is important, and it's really not hard. Practice. Good.
For 16 on that one, there's 4.
What?
16 on the binomial, trinomial.
Oh, so listen to me. So you would say you would combine the 9 and the 3. You hear me?
Okay,
So it's really a trinomial. But if there were 4, you would just simply say it's a polynomial. You hear me? It's a polynomial. All right, guys, good job for today. Get it done. Get it done. Get it done. All right, it's very easy. The last test next Thursday is going to be pretty easy because it's just rules. But if you wait and try to learn the rules on Wednesday night, it's not going to work out. All right, get it done. Practice.
I think it was